What's up, DC Nation? We're doing a Detective Comics review, and guys, it's issue number 1024, and it's the Joker War Prelude coming to an end, alright? Now, this whole story arc has been based on pretty much Batman and Two-Face. It's been pretty much all centered on more Two-Face. It's called Ugly Heart, right? And we had the whole introduction of the Two Strikes. It's pretty much like a cult for Two-Face, and it was more Harvey Dent. He was leading it, because he's trying to get these different prisoners on the right path. But he pretty much had like a bullet nudged his head, that certain times when it would shift his head, it would shift between Harvey Dent and Two-Face. And this actually comes to a conclusion, this issue, because Batman is trying to fix Two-Face. Like, make it more Harvey Dent, bring him back. Because each time Batman tries to save him, Two-Face, pretty much Harvey Dent flips back to Two-Face, and it causes more problems, right? But Batman's been trying to save him, help out his old friend, and it's been a great story arc. And last issue, that's when Joker, Lincoln Mars, they just swung in out of nowhere. Because every Batman series right now, everything that's aligned with Batman has to be based on Joker War. Now, I'm not disrespecting the Joker War event. I love that event right now. Yeah, great start in Batman number 95. But I didn't feel like this whole two-part, the end of this whole storyline had to be more Joker War focused. Because one, this storyline, this issue came out at the same time as Batman number 95, so you could easily just end it off the storyline and then, oh, next issue of Detective Comics is Joker War time, which that's what they're doing. So why do we need this whole storyline that was based on Batman Two-Face, which is really good, to shift to, oh, it's more Joker causing chaos, oh, Lincoln Mars comes out of nowhere because we need an enemy. I wasn't a big fan of that. Now, the issue is not a bad issue. I actually like it. I'll give my pros soon in this video, but this is my biggest problem with it, right? I wanted to get that out of the way before diving in. Now, last issue ended with pretty much a showdown. We have Batman, Two-Face, Lincoln March, an army of talents, the Two Strikes, all of them in the same spot. And we got Joker behind the scenes just watching this, alright, let's see some entertainment, right? And that's where we're here now. Now, this issue opens up on the first page, and we see Batman talking to Two-Face, saying, alright, you gotta choose. You could go with the talents and Lincoln March fight against me. You could team up with them, which they're actually under Joker, who has been manipulating you and caused this whole thing, this bullet going in your brain. Or you could go with me, who's actually trying to help you out. Even though all our differences, I think it's better to go with me, but it's your choice. Now, Two-Face says, well, I'm going with the side that's going to kill all these talents. And he starts firing. We see Batman, he's like, that's good to know. He goes to attack Lincoln March, and we see the title, Joker War Prelude, Fearful Symmetry, alright? So that's an interesting title, but as we go on, we see then the Two Strikes are like, alright, we go with the Master. Pretty much the Two Strikes are now aligned with the Bat. And we see Two-Face like, Joker, bring everything you got at me. He's just firing. And we have Batman, who's fighting against Lincoln March, and he's like, hey, I heard a rumor that you were put in tombs down in Gotham. And you're forgotten. Pretty much the talents that don't complete their mission, and they're more unloyal, get put down there in pretty much the bottom of Gotham, below Gotham City, and are not used again. And then Lincoln March's like, that's where you're wrong, Batman. I didn't fail my mission, I just didn't complete it yet. And my next step is killing you. And we see Lincoln March punch Batman. Batman goes back, and Lincoln March goes to the top of him. Now, we see Two-Face, he's firing. He's actually doing pretty good. He's pretty much using the Batman armor that actually Commissioner Gordon used in New 52, Scott Snyder's run. And we see him firing. He's using fire, just going around, killing these talents, right? And Batman and Two-Face go right next to each other. And Two-Face is like, hey, like old times, I would take down the villains, and you put them away. And Batman's like, well, old times weren't always good. They're actually bad times. But one thing I'm telling you now, if you're holding back, these talents are dead. So if you're holding back, don't. And that's when Two-Face is like, alright, understand. And actually, I'm saying wrong. It's actually not Two-Face, it's more Harvey Dent, because Harvey Dent is actually more reasonable. And this, in this issue, this part of the issue, it's more Harvey Dent in control. You can see that because he's actually working with the Batman. He's more reasonable, and he's not going all crazy and trying to go in different directions like Two-Face would usually do. Because Two-Face usually goes by just the coin, right? He flips the coin, and whichever side goes by, he goes by that. And a great example of that is actually about in the animated series, the Two-Face two-parter, which shows him so dependent on that coin. Where in this issue at the beginning, you see Harvey Dent actually going to Batman and working together with him, so it's obviously not Two-Face in control. Now later in this issue, we see Two-Face getting control, and I'll get to that soon. But what we see next is we have Joker in the background. He actually has comms and all these talents, so he pretty much has like a front row seat. And he's like, wow, this is so great. I have a front row seat to all my mayhem that I created. Now, Batman's fight against Lincoln March, it's like, wow, you got a little rusty. You're not that good. All your different techniques that you're using are very amateur. And that's when Batman pretty much punches Lincoln March. His mask gets off, and it turns out he has like Joker eyes. He's pretty much Jokerized there a way, because when Joker woke him up last issue, he not only used talent serum, he actually used Joker serum too. So he's awake, yeah, but he's more crazy now. And that's what Batman's fight off. But Lincoln March actually kind of gets the upper hand because he's just going crazy, going non-stop. But Batman's like, enough. He puts the thing on Lincoln March and explodes with like an ice on him and freezes him. Now Joker, at this time when Lincoln March is saying his mask got broken, he lost like that front row seat, right? So Joker just hears the battle going on now. But it turns out with what he heard, Joker just assumes, alright, Lincoln March pretty much lost. He's pretty much like a born loser. The guy can't catch a break. Which Joker's saying this is kind of funny, but at the same time, it's really making Lincoln March's character not look so good. Because I actually like his character, and I don't like him being treated as just, alright, he's just a throwaway villain, right? But we have Batman, and he then goes up to Two-Face, hey, take him out, go this way, and Two-Face like, no, I'll go another way, and just take them all out in one, alright? He uses all his fire, takes them out, and actually before this, the Two Strikes are not doing good, alright? They were firing, they were helping out, but Joker just throwing so many at him, right? We had the Owls killing different Two Strikes members, we had Joker plant bombs in them, so different ones are dying, but here, we see the Two Strikes are left, and actually they finish off all these talents. Now, at this point, there's like a big explosion, and the Two Strikes are like, oh, we gotta save Master. They go up to Two-Face, are you alright? And Two-Face is like, you're a traitor, you're working with talents, and he tries to kill him, but that's when Batman comes by and paralyzes Two-Face. He takes him out, he's down, and Batman's like, alright, I'm gonna perform surgery on you. And Two-Face is like, surgery? He starts yelling, get away from my head. And Joker's just hearing all this, and he has popcorn, and he's just listening to all this like chaos going on. Now Batman uses the same thing that Hugo Strange used to put the bullet in Two-Face, but this time Batman is retracting it, so it doesn't shift so many times, alright? So he goes in, he uses these lands, it's very a suspenseful moment, he goes in, takes it out, and finally it's like, Harvey Dent, are you there? And Harvey's like, yeah, and Batman's like, let's go home. And Joker just simply says, now that's entertainment. And we see him fall back. Now he actually has socks with fish on them, which I think that's more of a reference to a laughing fish, which actually showed up in Batman the Animated Series first in an episode literally titled Laughing Fish. I think it was titled Laughing Fish. Well, it was an episode based on that, right? Like you saw these fish come out of like the water in Gotham, and they just smile. It's a very creepy episode, but that's a big part of Joker's character that started more in Batman the Animated Series, but got developed over the years. So see him just have socks with fish on them, I think that's a reference to that. But so we see that end, and we see Batman pretty much take Two-Face back to Blackgate Prison. Now it's in Blackgate Prison, and he's pretty much helping different prisoners get out, right? Not in a way escaping, but he's pretty much like a lawyer inside prison. He's helping different guys who did get a square deal, who are either like framed, who were just treated wrongly in court, helping them get out. And we see another inmate come in. And we see this inmate talk to Two-Face, and he's like, hey, I remember you used to be Harvey Dent. You were a lawyer, you would help out, and Harvey's like, I'm not that guy anymore. And he's like, oh, you used to be Two-Face, right? I used to work for you. And Two-Face is like, well, I'm not that guy anymore. He explains that I'm actually just a prison lawyer that's just helping guys get a square deal. And this other inmate's like, oh, that's perfect. You're perfect for the job because all the different sides of the law that you've been on. And Two-Face is like, yeah, that's right. I'm really good at this job. So what's your name again? Mr. And he's like, Matches Malone. And Two-Face is like, well, give me a picture of your case, I can help you out. And Max Malone's like, no, I'm all good. Here's this. And Two-Face is like, what is this? He's like, it's a gift from an old friend. And you see Batman going out of the prison, pretty much with his grappling hook out of there, and you see the mask of Match Malone. And you guys don't know, Match Malone is pretty much like Batman's disguise. So you get in the underworld Gotham, or pretty much visit different villains without them knowing that's Bruce Wayne or Batman. It's just another, like, you know how there's always like heroes that have a double life? Well, Batman has like a triple life in a way. But still, we have that, and I like the ending, right? But my big problem with this issue is Joker and Lincoln March just felt kinda forced in there, right? Like, I like Joker. I like Joker more than, like, the other guy, right? He's one of my favorite characters. Probably my favorite villain of all time. But here, yeah, he has great lines, but he didn't really need to be inserted in the storyline. Lincoln Mark's just treated like crap, alright? He's just, Jokerized, and gets beat up easily, and he's more just an enemy that Batman needs to fight in this issue, that's it. Now, Two-Face, I liked him. I liked the certain parts where he's by Batman. It's like, it's just like old times. I like that. And then especially the ending with Match Malone. That was the stuff I wanted from the storyline. But instead, we got a forced Joker War Prelude that kind of slimmed down the story. Like, instead of the story being so focused on Two-Face and Batman, it kind of got cut down. Like, most of these pages in this book are more Joker War Prelude than the Two-Face storyline, Ugly Heart, that we had gained before. Now, I'll just say, the art looks amazing this issue. The fight looks great by Andrew Anstey. Like, Lincoln Mark looks great. Joker looks cool. Two-Face looks awesome. He's killing all these talents. Batman looks great. But it's just that the whole insert of the Joker War Prelude, it just feels forced. And I don't like when events do that. I like the event that it is, but when it's forced into a storyline that was already going so well, it just doesn't really look that good. But I still like the issue, I like the art, and I like all the different stuff going on. Now the two strikes, I don't expect them to return. I hope they don't, because they're okay, but they're more like a plot device. Alright, we need somebody else to join the battle. We need somebody to be working with Two-Face. And again, I feel like Peter Thompson, most of his stories always likes to insert a cult in there, which isn't a bad thing, but it's getting to a point that's a little too much. But still, overall, solid issue, one of the weaker ones in the storyline, but I still recommend, and that's why I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's passable, but I hope next time Peter Thompson has a great storyline going on, that DC doesn't force like an event going on to pretty much insert in there and kind of screw up the storyline. Like, it didn't screw it up entirely, but it prevented from the reader to get more like Batman Two-Face focused scenes. Now guys, the comment below, tell me about this issue. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What do you think about pretty much how it wrapped up? Do you think it wrapped up well? And what was your favorite part from this issue? Now guys, like the video, give a big thumbs up on YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe to my next Detective Comics review. I like this series a lot. PJ Thompson's doing a great job, and looking forward to his next storyline. Now, next few issues is Joker War tie-ins, but after that we have a special issue 1027 that's pretty much paying tribute to 1,000 comics since Batman's first appearance. And then after that we have like a Damian Wayne-centered storyline, which I'm actually pretty interested in. But guys, thanks for watching, and peace out.